The entrepreneurial ecosystem of Lima, I think, is very surprising in a way that there's a great deal of innovation. It's perhaps young and small in size, but it's definitely growing, and you would be surprised by the quality of entrepreneurs that are here.
Peruvians are very entrepreneurs. They have this entrepreneurial spirit that want to do things. 95% of companies that are developed are SMEs. Still, I think the innovation mindset has to be worked on, and yes, it's also little by little is something that we're going to achieve for sure.
Peruvians, they've been sort of cataloged as the most entrepreneurial of Latin America. But that's a little bit more based on necessity and not on opportunity. Because if you need to support your family and then there's no work, you have to go and find yourself a way how to make a business. And that's really amazing, you know. That struggle and finding a way through entrepreneurship is amazing. But the startups are more of opportunity based. You don't jump into a startup saying, I need to support my family, I'm gonna build a startup. It's more like, I've been working in this industry for the past 15 years, I'm an expert in this, and I found an opportunity here that either my company doesn't want to exploit or it's just too much risk, and I found the right team to do it, and you do it, and you raise money and so on.
We have like a cultural mix that is very valuable, right? You know, because Lima used to be one of the ports of the Spanish empire, you know, when they colonized America. So we got a lot of influence from different parts of the world, you know, like Japanese, Chinese, African. So there's a mix of cultures, and that makes people more creative. And that creativity, I think, is a strong asset in the entrepreneurial ecosystem.
I've been working in this for 3 years, and when we started there was nothing, and people still say like, oh, the Peruvian ecosystem's just starting, but it's grown a lot, and it's grown exponentially. Like, the comparison to what it was before, the quality of projects, the amount of investors interested, the amount of actors involved, it's a lot bigger.
The government has become more active, and I think it's a way of keeping up with the competition in the region, because you start seeing Mexico and Brazil, you know, the governments helping out startups, and then Chile has become really huge with the whole Startup Chile. So Peru's government step up, you know, to really fight back, and did a really amazing job of creating this program called Startup Peru, and it has today a huge wide variety of instruments to help out improve the ecosystem.
So everywhere in the world, people complain that there's not enough investors and people investing. The first thing that has to happen is that the quality of the startups needs to get better. And once the quality gets better, investors start investing.
So you have some funding that the government gives to startups. There are basically ideas that have a minimal viable product, and they give them like 50,000 soles, which would be around, I would say, like $17,000. And then there's a next stage, you know, if you keep up with a good progress, then you can apply to the next level, which is 100,000 soles. But then for that, you need to show growth indicators, sales, and so on. And then the next stage is 500,000 soles. So they're giving money, which without asking for equity, if you can show that you have a high potential company. Then they're also giving grants to incubators. So they're giving grants of 700,000 soles for a 3-year period. to help out improve your organization. So there's different things happening, and I think that we're gonna see a different Lima in a few years.
Compared to other countries in the region, yes, we started late, but the cool thing about starting late is that you can look at others' mistakes and learn from that. And what you have to do is build your own, like create your own mistakes, but not repeat others' mistakes. So that gives us like I guess an advantage to some extent.
Peruvians are by nature entrepreneurial, and it's just a matter of time before this develops into a more sophisticated ecosystem that can start producing interesting companies. And it's already been happening, but it's taking off. So it's at an early stage, which makes it interesting as well.